Hey there, BookTube. Noah, and everyone who reads and must converses the channel. Thanks for stopping by. I wanted to do a little review and to show off an awesome book and an awesome edition that I have of Mystery Walk by Robert R. McCammon. I believe I saw on Lost Cunningham, Timmy, you might have this same edition, am I right? This is let's see if I can get it with no glare. It's got this kind of, mylar on it. So, pretty cool. What I have here is the first edition, printed in 1983. When I was a kid, I was at a yard sale with my mother, just on a Saturday, cruising Saturday morning, and went to this yard sale, and I always looked for books. And I found a really thick horror book. Me and my mother would read Stephen King together, read Michael Crichton, things like that. And I found this really thick horror novel that looked super interesting. It was called Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon. And I had never read anything by him or even knew. But we both read that. My mother read it first and said how awesome it was, and I read it as well. It is an a supernatural apocalyptic, and then I was hooked. The second book that I read by Robert R. McCammon was this one here, Mystery Walk. This is more of fits more squarely into the horror genre. It's not necessarily an apocalyptic, but it is supernatural horror and done very, very well. I'm going to go ahead and read the dust jacket just to give y'all a little bit of what the synopsis is, and then talk a little bit more about my take on it, and then I'll just leave it at that. I was able to find this at Atlanta Vintage Books downtown. What I read when I was a kid was a paperback version, and I loved it. The beast that feeds on confusion and fear. Two boys with extraordinary powers to use for good or for evil. Restless spirits roaming the dark Alabama woods, infesting a Chicago hotel, haunting an amusement park ride. A lustful girl who drowns then reappears. A ghastly family massacre. Wherever human fears hide, in those shadows lurks the shape changer. They were known as the Healer and the Demon Boy. They faced each other for the first time at a tent revival meeting. The inexplicable energy that passed between them frightened the two boys. Each began dreaming the same dream, an eagle made of smoke locked in combat with a snake made of fire, and seeing things, a bestial shape with glowing red eyes. Billy Creekmore and Wayne Falconer would feel the same eerie charge every time their paths crossed over the next decade, as each undertook his mystery walk through life. Billy used his powers to set the dead rest in the traditional way his Choctaw grandmother had tutored him. Wayne used his healing gifts to raise money for his minister father's evangelical crusade. One of them wanted the other dead, and the shape changer wanted both of them dead. So these two boys, one of them is a faith healer that is actually in this kind of wandering tent revival, evangelical tent revival kind of situation, and that's just what his father does, and they have this whole team. But he is actually a faith healer, and how he does it is amazing in this book. You know how how his powers manifest. So, but he's this kind of self-righteous kid because he is what he is. The other boy is kind of a medium, and he's been taught by another medium, his grandmother. He was taught to use his powers in such a way as to help ghosts and spirits who are stuck and like kind of locked in a loop in this world, to help them cross over and to be able to to free themselves, and his own being is the mechanism for that. There is so many dark, creepy scenes in this, but also just a very high level of kind of philosophical action. You know what I mean? Like where you just, well, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy? These boys, they are very, very similar but different as well, especially in the way that their power manifests. And like it said on the flat there, one of them wants the other one dead. Well, the faith healer boy, Wayne, obviously thinks that the other one is a demon. He his power, he doesn't necessarily see that power is manifest as a positive thing for others. Well, and then we have the ultimate kind of bad guy who is known there in the flap just as this shape changer. The climax to this book is awesome. The climax to this book takes place out in the desert after you have gone through enough amazing scenes to totally have a relationship with each of these boys and know their motivation and what's going on. And still there's this mystery looming that is the dream, the eagle fighting with the flaming snake, which is that what is depicted there on the front. So I can't say enough about the climax. Robert R. McCammon is really, really good at writing that kind of thing. His books have great climax, have great endings, and none better than Mystery Walk here. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'll leave you with a picture just of a young McCammon right there. And I think it was C.K. Reads is doing a read through of all McCammon's works, and I think Mystery Walk was like next on the list. So buddy, you're in for it, man. It is very cool, and I appreciate y'all letting me show this beautiful edition. It's I love it. It's nostalgic for me to have finally a hardcover, a nice hardcover edition of a book that that really affected me as a young reader. Made me know that I loved stories, not just classics, but modern stories as well. So thank you, BookTube. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.